Order up! Welcome to a brand new episode of the Order Up Podcast. I'm Taryn Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. So, in a brand new episode, I'm going to be talking about, of course, the new Space Jam movie, Space Jam: A New Legacy. And honestly, it's not a bad movie. It's a solid family movie. I'm not sure what's with all the bad reviews and it sucks and it's this and it's that. It's like, what is people expecting? Like, it's a family movie. Like, I don't understand. Like, are there some corny bits? Is there some parts where LeBron sounds kind of stiff? Yeah, he does. But also, I feel like that's also the character he's portraying. Like, he's supposed to be kind of like this stiff, like, kind of father figure with basketball's all he's care about. You gotta do things fundamentally in the right way, and this is how you have to do it. And I think he actually played that role kind of well. Like, it was kind of dry and boring and things like that. Maybe there were some cringe moments where, maybe things felt a little awkward. But again, it's Space Jam. It's supposed to be kind of cringe and awkward and, it's for kids. Like, a lot of people, because again, a lot of people born in the 90s saw the original Space Jam, now we're all like 30, 31, 32, and we're judging this movie like we're the Emmys. Like, we're judging this movie so hard. And it's actually not that bad. It's fun. It's a solid, movie to watch with some friends and family and have a good laugh. There are some really good jokes in the movie that I really appreciate, some of the jokes and callbacks and things like that. So this is actually fun. I do think so. I'm gonna break it down a little bit. So the movie, of course, is LeBron's son gets taken by this rogue AI played by Don Cheadle. His name is what is it? Algorithm. And so he gets pulled into the game. LeBron's son Dom is actually a genius. He built this like kind of this almost arcadey NBA Street mixed with NBA Hang Time mixed with this is a very arcadey. You get points for no reason. There's power up. Crazy. He built his game. He's only 12. He built his game. And that's what he's really passionate about. LeBron, of course, and honestly, the first part of the movie, LeBron's the villain. I don't even care. Like, he's just the stuck-up dad. Like, I'm a basketball player. I do basketball. We do basketball things. Focus on your basketball. And his son's like, Dad, like, I built this game. Whatever, you built the game. It's not basketball. So it's kind of like, come on, LeBron, you kind of suck. Like, movie LeBron kind of sucked in the beginning. But again, it's the character development of him learning to understand his son and to realize, hey, his son isn't him. Like, he might be able to do both. Maybe he'll game. Maybe he'll be this game designer and he might hoop too. Or maybe he'll hoop and do games. Who knows? He can be multifaceted. But that's kind of the story of the movie. So his son gets sucked in. And there was actually some pretty funny stuff where he gets called into like this Warner Brothers like meeting for like some execs trying to get him on board with some new marketing stuff. And they do like this. They do like the large pan shot of the Warner Brothers of the water tower. It was really cool. I wish the Animaniacs just randomly popped out for some reason. That would have been dope. But they do that, and then they talk, and they do like LeBron versus Batman, and I started crying. Hey, LeBron versus Batman needs to be a mini series. Like, DC needs to make that a thing. It could be like 5 issues, just for some reason. Like, Batman has to hoop against LeBron. Be the most outlandish thing ever. I want to see that. It was also like LeBron in Game of Thrones. Like, it was just some wild stuff. But again, just fun. Again, using they use their properties. Since Warner Brothers has all these properties, why not use them in the movie? So yeah, so they end up getting trapped. Like, they end up getting caught up in the server room. They get trapped in the game. Don Cheadle's character, Al, I guess I'll call him Al or Algie. He sucks them in, and of course, it's just kind of like there is a movie where it's like, hey, LeBron, play me in basketball. If you win, you get to go free, but if you lose, you have to, be in my server forever. Like, whatever. So yeah, so then LeBron has to go find the tunes. You find out that Bugs Bunny is the only tune in Toon World because Algie actually manipulated all the other tunes to go to other places because there were better things out there in the what they call it, the serververse, I think. So there was more things out there in the WB serververse than at Toon World. But one thing I noticed about Toon World when they started traveling to different areas, or like when LeBron got sucked into the serververse and he started flying to different worlds, it looked a lot like Kingdom Hearts. Like, again, I know this is WB, Kingdom Hearts is Disney, but like they borrowed just how the worlds look in Kingdom Hearts. A lot of the WB like worlds look a lot like how they look in Kingdom Hearts, like very very similar. Because it kind of makes if you ever played Kingdom Hearts, they kind of had that same distinct kind of look where all the worlds had like these monuments for different games and things like that. So yeah, there was like a Matrix world, like the Scooby Doo world. There was all these different places like Flintstones and stuff like that. And so yeah, you could see some of them, and they look just very much like how they portray them in Kingdom Hearts. But I think that was actually a very smart design choice. And yeah, he gets sucked in the Toon World. Of course, you see the intro with him being a cartoon version of himself, and he does all the goofy like Toon things. There's actually some pretty funny references to LeBron leaving, him the decision. Right, LeBron always leaves. Like, okay, he was in Cleveland, to Miami, back to Cleveland, now he's in L.A. Watch out, Lakers. Like, there's some pretty funny things, some real world stuff. I even like the intro of them doing of like of kind of have setting kind of the tone of LeBron like games when he was younger, but he just got forced into basketball because he was so good, and they showed like his highlights and of course the picture of him at St. Vincent St. Mary's and his draft day, him originally with the Cleveland, the decision, him with Miami, and him going back to Cleveland, him winning in Miami. They did a really cool job of kind of encompassing a lot of LeBron's hits, and they even show highlights, of course, from this past from the bubble, in 2020 when they won with the Lakers. So that was kind of cool, just to kind of get us up to speed on LeBron and just get. And I did kind of like LeBron playing this really stuck up, just basketball oriented father, just kind of almost like a drill charge, almost like a drill sergeant. Because I don't think he's like that for real. I think he's actually pretty lean back and pretty fun loving, and let his kids kind of do what they want. If they want to hoop, they can. If they want to pursue other stuff, they can. Kind of his daughter has like a YouTube channel that has like 1 million subscribers, I think. Let her. And again, I think he's very much loving and let them doing their thing. But the show's very stuck up, very militaristic. Like, you have to do basketball. Basketball's our life. If it's not basketball, it's nothing. Which I thought was kind of an interesting contrast to how LeBron is for real. So of course, then you go on the search. You have to find all the different tunes. So every tune was in like a different world, where like Granny and Speedy Gonzalez were in the Matrix. I thought was pretty funny. Lola was actually in the Wonder Woman universe, where she was actually doing it to be an Amazon. So she actually saves LeBron and Bugs, and Wonder Woman's like, "You're good to go. You're Amazon. Don't worry about that." And actually, Daffy was actually in the Superman universe with Metropolis. And he not only was he in the Superman universe, he was in Justice League the animated series type universe, because that art style was that like Justice League. I want to say animated, not quite unlimited, but I think Justice League the animated series. I'm pretty sure that's where he was, because they all had the same look. Because Superman popped up, you saw Green Lantern briefly, I think Flash. I want to say Aquaman was there too, but I was like, oh, that's kind of a nice little reference. But he eventually gets all the squad together, and they have to play the game. And I actually kind of like the way that they did it, since it wasn't like even the original Space Jam. It was more traditional basketball, but their tunes, they did some tuning, so they did some loony stuff, pun intended. But in this one, because Dom's game is more arcadey with power ups and just very NBA Street, very arcadey, very you can get 100-point shots and stuff like that. It kind of fit their world a little bit better, and I love some of the art style choice, especially going back to the intro when they showed some of the shots and they had like some of the streaks and color streaks from like NBA Jam or these colors. Is how they presented it like a video game was really really dope. I really appreciate that. As just a fan of video games, it's just the art style in general in the movie. And so when they got to the actual game, it was pretty cool because they had like a lot of the colors and things like that with the power ups on the court. And I like the Goon Squad. I do think the Monstars were better than the Goon Squad, just how they were presented, and they were just monsters, and just I don't know, it just worked a little bit better for me. Like, and I like the Goon Squad because I like all the different characters and things like that. And I like how they made like Kronos, which was Damian Lillard's character, the sixth man, and just a problem because he controlled time, Dame time. I thought it was a nice little reference. You had the brow, you had what was it, Wet and Hot, I think, or Wet and Fire. I think it was like Wet and Hot. It was Clay Thompson because he's the Splash Brothers, catching on fire. Diana Taurasi was the White Mamba, which is a nice shout out, R.I.P. Kobe, which is a nice little thing to that. And then I forget how to pronounce her name. I don't want to butcher her name because I have her name like in my head. I just can't say it. But I forget if she's like Arachna Queen or like it's like Arachnica or something like that, where she was part spider. Which was fun. And then Dom actually played on the Goon Squad at first because he thought, oh yeah, it'd be just a fun game, show my dad, what I can do. And the soundtrack is actually pretty good too. Like some of the music in it, I had like especially like the ending song, which is what is it? When the name of the last song is no, We Win. It's Lil Baby and Kurt Franklin. That's like the ending song towards the end of the movie that they play out. That song is actually really dope. So the soundtrack was good. It had a good vibe. Of course, Ernie Johnson was there. I know the other guy's name, but I forget. Like I know him from stuff. I can't think of the other guy's name. But Ernie Johnson was there. They actually do like the TNT music. I actually love this. Actually, the part in the movie where Bugs with LeBron, and Bugs and LeBron's like, "Oh, Bugs Bunny, you know him?" He's like, "Yeah, we get TNT here," and he has the stick of TNT. I like again little jokes like that, which that I really appreciate it. And there was like a lot of little nods and little jokes. Like, 'cause I know a couple years ago with LeBron, there was some viral where he was like Taco Tuesday. He actually says that at the end of the movie. But again, funny. He does like the J.R. Smith like face, the face where he did with J.R. Smith, uh, stole the ball, like took the ball in the finals. He actually does that face. He doesn't do the whole meme, but he does the face a bunch of different times. There was some really good stuff. There was just some really good jokes and some good in jokes. If you follow the NBA, follow the career, if you follow, Looney Tunes and some of the stuff like that, you were rewarded for some of that. Which I thought was cool. There were some really funny things. And one of the coolest stuff, of course, they do the homage to D Wade and LeBron in Miami, where Lola alley oops to LeBron, and they do the pose. Again, there's some really good little jokes, and there's some good in jokes where if you follow LeBron, the league, and some of the stuff, you get rewarded for that. There was, of course, references to the first Space Jam, because actually the Toon Squad, we see them before they play the game. They're actually in their old school Toon Squad jerseys, and then of course, Algae is like, okay, let me upgrade you, and then they upgrade. He upres them, and they put on their new jerseys. I think it's cool. The aliens from the original Space Jam, they pop up in the crowd, which I thought was really cool. But I think I love the reference to Michael B. Jordan, like, or Michael Jordan, and it turns out to be Michael B. Jordan, which is what I thought was gonna happen. Like, it was the perfect setup. Whereas I found Michael Jordan, and they play the music from the Bulls entry. They played the music, the dun 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 dun, dun boom. I just butchered that, but like they play that intro music for the Bulls, and it comes out and it's Michael B. Jordan. It's like, oh, it's like, no, that's not Michael Jordan, it's Michael B. Jordan. It's like, oh, and they just go after Sylvester. It was pretty funny. Like, again, it was good. I also like that. And I also like, kind of the end where Bugs takes the last shot because LeBron's move, this two dribble step back three, it glitches the game. But if you glitch the game, you'll die. And Bugs does it, and he ends up short. But of course, LeBron catches the ball, gets the power from his son, dunks the ball in, and the Toon Squad wins, and everyone goes home. It's a fun movie. There's some good little jokes. I don't want to, because I don't remember all of them, but there were some good, like, nice little jokes that made me laugh and made me go, oh, okay. Like, if you know, you know. Like, and he was very much like trying to get, like, especially like LeBron in the beginning, where he's trying to get the team. And he's like, oh, I gotta get Superman, gotta get Iron Giant, or we gotta get, he's trying to get like some really high class, people on the team. And Bugs is like, we're not gonna be able to get them, like, which is really funny. And then he's because he's like, "Come on, LeBron, super team. This is in Miami." Like, there's some really good jokes, scattered throughout the movie of like LeBron's career and what he's done, and just movies in general, and just the Toon world. It was a fun movie. Is it the greatest thing in the world? I mean, no, but it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. I think Don Cheadle was great as Al G, just being a charismatic kind of, like, oh yeah, I'm your friend, but really, like, really conniving and scheming, and it was just fun. It's a fun movie. I would say check it out, especially if you're a fan of the first Space Jam. Definitely check it out. Don't go into it. Just go into it with fun. Just there's some good jokes. There's some jokes that you might go, that kind of like, damn, really? Like, there's some moments where like, that's a little cringe, but there's some good actual humor in it, and they do a good job of catering to everybody, catering to kids, catering to some people that saw the first Space Jam. Like, I'm surprised they didn't do a special stuff. They kind of sort of hinted at the special stuff um moment from the first Space Jam, because LeBron's drinking this unmarked bottle, and I just thought they were going to maybe do something with that, but they didn't, which is fine. But the whole little Michael B. Jordan reference, because they didn't mention him at all in any of the trailers. I thought it was fun. It's definitely a decent movie. Again, give it like a 3 out of 5. Kind of a maybe 6.5, 7 out of 10. Actually, you know what? A solid 7 out of 10. It gets a solid C for me. A solid 7 out of 10, because it's not great, but it's fun. Like, again, if you want fun, you want some laugh, you want to just see how they handled it. If you're a LeBron fan, you'll enjoy it. I mean, even if you're not really a LeBron fan, like, you should just enjoy the movie. Especially if you're a basketball fan, you enjoy the tunes, you enjoy the original Space Jam. Definitely go and see. I love the end credit stuff where the tunes come back in the real world, because Bugs pops up and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna hang out." And that's what they do, like the Taco Tuesday, reference. But there's also some funny references where, like, Daffy's coaching the Lakers with LeBron there. One of the funniest things is they go to a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and Foghorn Leghorn is looking at that, and it's just one of the funny moments. He says something else too in the movie, but I actually forgot what he said. It was really funny and had me dying. But there's some good moments in the movie. Again, people are like, I don't understand why people are so bitter. Like the movie finally came out and it's decent. Like it's a fun, solid movie to watch with your kids, watch with your family. It'll make you laugh. If you watched the original Space Jam, you enjoy it. If you never saw it, this has no like it's not like you need to see the first Space Jam to watch this one. There are just some nice little Easter eggs. Well, if you know, too, I think Zendaya does a really great job as Lola. Like her voice just fits. A lot of people are talking about again how Lola looked, but I think Zendaya did a really good job with Lola. Like her voice just fit. Like it just fit Lola. Like it was really really good, really really well done. Again, solid movie. Definitely enjoy it. If you're a basketball fan, LeBron fan, if you like the tunes, want just a good family movie to watch with your kids that'll make them laugh, and there's some good lessons in it about kind of being you, and accepting people for being who they are, and not trying to force yourself on other people. Like there's some good life lessons in the movie as well. Yeah, definitely go out and check it out. You don't have to watch it on HBO Max. Go to the theater and see it, or again, you can find somewhere and possibly stream it. I don't know. You got options. But thank you for checking out this brand new episode of the Aura Podcast. I greatly appreciate it. I just did an episode I just did a review for Black Widow movie, for the Black Widow movie. So definitely check out that podcast as well. Always and forever, slicing, dicing, gaming. It's not just a motto; it's a lifestyle. The podcast always goes up on Anchor, and the YouTube channel goes up on Spotify, and also on the website www.slicingDicingGaming.com. Thank you so much for checking out this new episode of the Aura Podcast. I'll see you in the next one. Later. Later.